Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of ED Outdoors. I know we've been away for a little while, but we're about to get right back into the Teach a Man to Fish series, coming up with everything you need to know, well, mostly everything you need to know about fishing the Texas rig. Coming right up. Alright you guys, welcome back. Like I said, I've been kind of busy lately, but we're about to get back into our series with the Texas rig. Now, let's talk about the Texas rig real quick. Texas rig is one of my favorite rigs to use. It pretty much all year round. It's kind of my first one I started using when I got to bass fishing. When I first started bass fishing, I was big on swim baits because I caught my first bass on a swim bait. But I discovered the versatility of soft plastics on the Texas rig. Now the Texas rig, you have Carolina rig, Texas rig, Alabama rigs, all kind of, every state seems like has a rig. But Texas rig, basically you're going to take a bullet weight, a hook. I like to use the wide gap offset hook, straight shank hook, or a worm hook. Worm hooks are pretty typical obviously with worms, but anything else I like to go with the offset wide gap hook. Basically the way you're going to take it, or the way you're going to do it, you're going to take your bullet weight, feed it onto your line, take your hook, tie it onto your line. That's it. Next thing you do, take your bait, hook it onto your hook, and that's all it is to it pretty much. Now when it comes to weights, I like to use lighter weights, depending on the situation of course. Heavy weights, you get further out, it sinks a little bit faster, and then lighter weights sink a little bit slower. Kind of a finesse technique. I'll show you guys the technique here in a second. Now I have these. Let's see. Now I have these tungsten weights from Rougarou, and tungsten. I know people talk about tungsten. Tungsten is really, it's kind of the new thing. Basically, when it comes to tungsten, you get the same weights that you would from your lead in a smaller package, because tungsten is heavier. You don't have to use as much to get the same desired weight, and you get better feel. And you get better feel whenever you're down at the bottom, bumping along rocks and stuff like that. So I take a 3/16 ounce, or I go to a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. Also, another thing with tungsten, if you guys if you're fishing like your own area, ponds, lakes, whatever like that, you don't want to, you guys lose a lot of baits and stuff. You don't want to get a lot of lead into your water system, obviously. So tungsten is a little bit better to go. But take your bullet weight, thread it onto your line. Typically, you guys know when I fish bait cast, I love fishing with braid. Braid's my favorite thing to use with a bait cast. But you can tie on a floral or mono leader if you guys just are afraid of using braid. Alright, take your hook, tie it on, however you decide to tie it on, it doesn't matter. Any type of tie will get the job done pretty much. Or any type of knot rather. Alright, so once you get that tied on, cinch it down, and your Texas rig is going to be looking something like this. Alright, you're going to have your bullet weight just free floating, and then your hook on there. Now sometimes I take a cork stopper and put it on first, and that allows you, if you want to, like if you want to flip on these docks and stuff, you can slide that down and keep that onto the tip of the bait, or you just let it free fall. I'll just let it free fall. Now let's talk about when it comes to your baits. You can throw pretty much anything, everything soft plastic related on a Texas rig. You can go with regular old zoom worms, you can throw your dingers, your stick baits. These are really good. These like beaver tail, these are kinky beavers. A buddy of mine put me onto these and I love them, bought a pack. I mean, I was tearing them up this past tournament with that. They're not giants, but TTG Lures, I'll leave the link in the description below. You guys should check them out. They make soft plastic, some of the best soft plastics that I've used as far as the color and how they stand up. Now, like I said, I love these, but you may get 3 or 4 fish off of it before, you know, you get 3 fish on one side, flip around, 3 on, or 2 or 3 on the other side. Using TTG, they're good quality and they last a lot longer. I discovered that. Finesse worms, that's a finesse crawl for TTG. Flukes, you can throw on flukes. You can fish your fluke on a Texas rig. That's how I first started fishing flukes, was on Texas rig. Again, worms, you can go with your big worms, fish them deep. Lizards, I mean, so on and so forth. Whatever, you know, brush offs. I have bags and bags and bags full of soft plastic, so you can throw, you know, I'm sure y'all have this, you know, bags full of, you know, all kinds of soft plastic things. That's not soft plastic, yeah. But so many options as far as what you can fish on soft plastic on the Texas rig. All right, you guys, let's get right on down to how to rig up this Texas rig. Now, when it comes to rigging, it's pretty simple. You want to do, first of all, get your camera to focus. It'll help if you didn't have a 70-pound pit bull in the way. Everest, go away. Go, get, move, girl. All right. All right, back to business. This is just a brush hog, real simple. I use brush hogs a lot. Again, whenever you're fishing Texas rig, it's kind of a finesse rig, and I like to use it in the summertime. And basically, you're gonna throw it out, let it sink to the bottom, and hop it off the bottom. So, creature baits, brush hogs. You see these TTG lure, crawfish style, beaver tail style. You know, pretty much you can use anything. Worms work really well too. All right, so after you focus, you're gonna just take your hook it straight down into the nose of the bait. No matter what you use, hook it down through the nose, bring it out like so, and push that hook down. Once you get it down, you're gonna flip it around and put that hook in back through the body. Okay. You want to try to line it up as much as possible, and you want to barely bring it out, just bring it out enough to where it lays flat. Now once you got it laid flat, what I like to do is back off a little bit and just barely tuck it. You want to hook it through to where, you know, the hook is not exposed, which makes it weedless, but there's very little bit of skin that you have to poke through in order to set that hook. You can kind of see it barely casting through. If y'all, you probably heard that. That's that sound of the tungsten. Very, very high pitch. It's going to create a lot of distraction, a lot of noise whenever you're dropping it in the water. And the way I fish it, I literally raise my rod tip up, let it fall. So in the water, it comes up and then it falls. You know, that tungsten's going to fall first, create a little bit of noise, and then that fish is going to be like, oh, what's going on? And then suddenly it's going to see this creature bait falling. You know, the legs are kicking, the pinchers of the crawfish are kicking, and if using a worm, you know, the tail's kicking and it's doing what it's doing. Anyway, that's it as far as how to rig it. It's really simple. Like I said, I like to do it, make it weedless, because I'm dropping this around weeds. I'm dropping it, you know, in thick cover, brush, and like I said earlier, I put a peg on the end of it and slide it down with a heavier weight, like a 3/4 ounce, and then turn this into a punch rig, and I can drop that, you know, lily pads and stuff like that, and create a lot of action deep in that cover, to where those fish are not used to seeing that, and they see that and they react to it, get a good reaction strike from it. So right now we're gonna go, I'm gonna show you guys how I work it. And I already kind of told you guys, but I'm gonna show you the drop and fall that I use as far as how to work this rig. Alright, you're gonna want to just throw it out. And when you get it out, it's real simple. You're gonna bring your rod tip down to the water, tighten the line up, raise it, let it fall, pick up the slack. Now I can do this around docks, I can do it off the bank, I can do it around stumps. Typical places where bass like to be. Let it come up, let it sink to the bottom. A lot of times when it hits the bottom on a slack line, I'll shake it a little bit. I'm shaking the line, not necessarily shaking the rod tip. And that makes the opinion just kind of twinkle a little bit. Now, as far as like colors, you know, you gotta stick to what you know. Stick to the basics. You match the hatch. You want to make sure your colors match the water. Make sure it matches the other bait sets out there that fish are feeding on. That's basically all there is to it. Alright, guys. I don't know how this angle looks. I'm just winging it with my camera. But yeah, basically it's all there is to it. It's kind of down and dirty on Texas rigging, but next time I go out in the water, I'll show you guys more in depth as far as my baits and how to do it and my technique. But summertime's a great time to use these rigs, the Texas rig. Also spawn. When their bass are spawning, they're up on beds, they're moving up on beds. That's where you want to use them. Throw them on beds, shake them, let them sit in the middle of the bed, and just rise and fall, let it pop, and let it, you know, hang out in their bed, and eventually the fish is going to strike. Summertime, whenever the fish are deep, people like to use Carolina rigs. Texas rigs work just as well. You know, you want to use those. I fished them before in the past, and they do really well open water. Just let it fall. It's gonna be a slow fall if the current's a little bit faster. If the current's slower, or if it's like still water, it'll be a faster fall. But either way, you're gonna have good reaction from your Texas rig. Like I said, worms, you use, you know, brush hogs, basically any type of soft plastic, even flukes. You're gonna give that dying shad kind of feel. Fluke, throw a fluke on with a 1/4 ounce weight. Really well. All right, that's it, guys. I'm about to head in. Thank y'all again for tuning in. ED Outdoors. This has been the Texas rig episode for Teach a Man to Fish. Y'all stay tuned for more. Lots more to come. We got a giveaway coming up pretty soon. Our subscriber count is jumping, so the giveaway is gonna be pretty soon. I got some Independence Day giveaways also that I want to do. But head in and see what the fam's up to. What's up, fam? Get some light on you. Huh? What happened? Say, that's all, folks. Y'all join in. Next time. On ED Outdoors. EDO out. EDO on. Hold your hand up. Watch your hand.